Hello and welcome to RD United TV. My name's Jules Solskjaer and I'm going to be covering in this video the defensive midfield options that we'll be looking at for the remainder of the transfer window. So we've been prioritising a defensive midfielder as Casemiro's performances last season were on the decline, and we generally just have a lack of competition for that spot. So we're looking for potentially a replacement for Casemiro, but someone to partner Kobe Mainu, who impressed brilliantly in the number 8 position last season. I've picked 4 transfer targets that I think we can focus on in this video. So we've got Frankie de Jong of Barcelona, we've got Berge of Burnley, Ugarte from PSG, and Sofian Amrabat, who was on loan at Old Trafford last season. So I'm going to start with Amrabat. We're most familiar with him. I was surprised to see he actually played 30 games for us last season, which 21 were in the league and a further 9 were in the cup competitions. That was a big surprise because it felt to me like he was frozen out for quite a long time around the new year. But yeah, he did actually make 30 appearances, although many of those will have been as sub appearances. Rumour is that the release clause in his contract is 16.8 million, and by all accounts Manchester United are reluctant to pay the release clause, hoping to bargain down to something more in the region of 12 million. So I guess then his strengths, if we focus on those first of all, he's a good ball winner, he has a good engine, and he's got good work rate. And then on the flip side, he's not the quickest. He gets caught on possession at times. We did see one in particular last season. I think it was in the Manchester City game in the league where he got poached and Man City scored a goal. He's competent on the ball. I wouldn't say anything special in that regard. So overall, I'm going to give Amrabat a 7 out of 10. I think it represents good value, and he would definitely plug a gap. However, going forward, is he the type of defensive midfielder that's going to take us on to the next level? I would say probably not. Next, I'm going to move on to Ugarte from PSG. We've been trying to negotiate with PSG for what seems like all summer on this player. They're holding out for 51 million, which is similar to the fee that they paid Sporting Lisbon for his services just a year ago. Ugarte, he's a popular player for his national team. He's made over 20 appearances for Uruguay, and he's impressed, particularly in the Copa America, which happened over the summer. But there's question marks whether he fits PSG's style of play, and he was in fact left out of the Champions League for a few games for this reason, and they preferred to bring in Vitinha, who was a bit more comfortable on the ball and a bit more dynamic with his passing. So Ugarte's strengths: he's a very good ball winner. His defensive positioning is fantastic, and he has a good engine. On the flip side, at times he can struggle to finish the 90 minutes. He often gets brought off around the hour mark, and he's somewhat limited on the ball compared to some of the other options. Overall, I'd give this transfer a 7 out of 10, like with Amrabat. He has his positives, he has his negatives, but the high transfer fee means that I can't score him any higher than a 7. We'll move on to the next target, Berge of Burnley. We've been linked to this player before. We were linked to him before he joined Sheffield United, and then again when he joined Burnley. He's been one of their best performers in the Premier League last season. However, he couldn't help Burnley from getting relegated, and that's his second relegation from the Premier League, which to casual fans or fans that haven't followed his career closely is a negative. Okay, so when you look at his statistics, at Sheffield United he scored 15 goals in 109 appearances, which for a defensive midfielder is extremely good. If he could add those kind of numbers at Manchester United, that would be a real asset. He's very dangerous at set pieces. He's great in the air. He's 6'5", and he'll win anything that comes into the box defensively and in the opposition box too. He's also very good on the ball, and his passing statistics are exceptional, even in a Burnley team that got relegated. So when you're looking at the fee that Burnley want, which is 25 million, this potentially is very good business. This one is difficult to judge, just because he's had the 2 relegations and he's played in teams that are far below the level of Manchester United and the expectations that come with playing for our club. I would give this one a 6. He's definitely the value option. He's at a good age. It's just unproven as to whether he can succeed in a team the size of Manchester United and with the weight of expectation that we know comes from playing for the shirt. Finally, I've got Frankie de Jong, who probably fits in the region of Wesley Sneijder, who we seem to try and buy for his entire career. De Jong is a favourite of Erik ten Hag, and as we know, last season in the summer we spent the whole window on this target, and we missed out on other transfers, probably because we just put too much effort into trying to buy this player, who made it public that he didn't want to join at that time. There's some financial reasons for that. Barcelona were backweighting his contract, which meant that in the later years of his contract he would be paid the majority of his salary, and so Barcelona were trying to offload him before they had to incur those heavy costs, which they're now doing. He's on several £100,000 a week now because of the backweighting in the contract, but if he came to Manchester United, I think we'd probably be looking at something in the region of 200,000, which would put him amongst the top earners at the club. If you look at his positives, he's a fantastic playmaker, and in that sense he's quite different to some of the other targets I've spoken about in this video. His positioning is very good, both defensively and offensively. When he was at Ajax, he also played centre-back and a range of other positions along the back line and midfield. So I think just overall he's an extremely versatile footballer. He's great in possession. He's able to manipulate the ball, find space, and his dribbling and passing are up there with anyone that you want to compare him to. He'll definitely help with ball progression, and I think that is probably the number one reason why Ten Hag sees him as the ideal fit in this position. The fee that Barcelona are looking for this time around is in the region of 30 to 40 million, which for a player of de Jong's calibre is extremely good value. And for that reason, I'm going to give Frankie de Jong an 8 out of 10. I think overall then, there's 4 good targets here. Some of them are good for the shorter term, Amrabat and possibly Ugarte. Berge is the value option at 25 million. I think you're getting a good player there. However, de Jong is someone that Ten Hag sees as an ideal fit at Manchester United. He's worked with him before, and he's one of the top midfielders in the world in that position, and he can really take us to the next level. Now, fans are going to have their opinions on this one because he did reject us last summer. However, there are mitigating circumstances around his contract, and let's face it, if we were owed 20 or 30 million over the next year from our employer, we'd probably want it paid too. So I don't particularly hold that one against him. So yeah, drop us a like, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'd like to read your comments afterwards, and I'll do my best to respond and get some further chat with you guys. Thank you very much. Bye.